Good morning from the Chicolton. 7 a.m. Fog on the lake, burning off nicely. It's going to be an amazing day. Enjoy yours. So this is from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Dialectic, the Hegelian process of change in which a concept or its realization passes over into and preserved and fulfilled by its opposite. Development through the stages of theses, antitheses, and the synthesis in accordance with the laws of dialectical materialism. Any systematic reasoning, exposition, or argument that juxtaposes opposites or opposed or contradictory ideas and usually seeks to resolve their conflict, the dialectical tension or opposition between two interacting forces or elements. Dialectical materialism. 1. The Marxist theory that maintains the material basis of reality constantly changing in a dialectical process in the priority of matter over mind. I could extrapolate on that and go with the Wikipedia one, but since any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go in there and, edit Wikipedia, we'll just skip that. But the Hegelian dialectic form it's pretty simple. It's A thesis versus B, your antithesis, and that equals C, which is your synthesis. Here's an example. If my idea of freedom, A, the thesis, conflicts with B, your idea of freedom, which would be, the antithesis, neither of us can be free until everyone agrees to be a slave, which would be C, the synthesis. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. The Soviet Union is a pretty classic example of a society based on the Hegelian dialectic. The Soviets didn't give up their Hegelian reasoning when they supposedly stopped being a communist country back in '89. They merely changed the dialectical language to fit into the modern version of the Marxist thinking called communitarianism. But I digress. So, I'll conclude this video with this little bit here. The Hegelian dialectic presupposes the factual basis for the theory of social evolutionary principles, which are coincidentally backed up by Marx. Marx's Darwinian theory of social evolution of the species, even though it has been used for a century to create a vast new scientific community including eugenics and socioeconomics. Get that? Eugenics, socioeconomics. Hegel's theory is basically that mankind is merely a series of constant philosophical conflicts. Hegel was an idealist who believed that the highest state of mankind can only be attained through constant ideological conflict and resolution. The rules of the dialectic means mankind can only reach its highest spiritual consciousness through endless, self-perpetuating struggle between ideals and the eventual synthesizing of all opposites. Hegel's dialectic taught all conflicts take man to the next spiritual level. But in the final analysis, the ideology simply justifies conflict and endless war. And as we can see currently on the world stage, conflict and endless war seems to be the norm. It's also reasoning behind using military power to export a logical version of freedom and false democratic ideals. And we've seen that shoved down the throats of many, many countries. The reason we can call it the justification for modern conflicts and war with impunity is because no one can prove Hegel's theory is true. No matter how many new words they make up to define it, or how many new theories they come up to give it validity, we can prove beyond a doubt that it is all false, and we can show the final equation in Hegel's dialectic is, A, your nation goes here, the system of your political economy. B, your state-controlled world communism. C, state-controlled global communitarianism. The Hegelian dialectic is a ridiculous idea that constant conflict and continual merging of opposite ideologies, as established by the extreme right or left belief systems, will lead spiritual mankind into a final perfection. Hegel's brilliance rests in his ability to confuse and obfuscate the true motives of the planners, and millions of people worldwide have been trying to make sense of why it doesn't work for over 150 years. But like the AA definition of insanity, the world keeps trying it over and over, expecting different results.